Today's topic is mystery of emotion, love, light, devotion, consciousness, and mergence. This is the topic, and nothing can be generated by the mind. This subject is a hard subject. You cannot cultivate these qualities by the mind. No institution in the world teaches you what is emotion, what is love, what is devotion. They are all divine qualities. One is born with these qualities. If you are born with quality, it means you are blessed with divinity. I am very happy. One of our devotees, he wanted me to talk about emotions. And then I thought emotion is related with very other topics. So I've included all the topics put together. They are basically of same type with little difference. If you have one qualities, the other will come. And when you are emotional, then it is very easy to merge in the divinity. You have not to do any sadhana, not much sadhana, because by birth God has given you supreme qualities. If you want to understand emotion, basically it's bhava, what your heart says. You know, you are born with the heart. All these are of heart qualities. Mind is developed when you are 7 years old, and then you go to the school, to institution, and develop your mind. But heart and heart qualities are the divine qualities. It is given by the God. You cannot be emotional, cannot have love with someone unless it sprouts in you. You cannot have devotion unless it sprouts. You cannot weep for someone. Tears not come from your eyes unless you like it, you love it, or something and touched your heart. That's the reason tears comes. Tears comes out of the joy also. Tears come out of the sorrow. So these are all divine qualities. When you cannot express your love, you cannot express your emotion, you cannot express your devotion, then the tears flows from your eyes. Tears are the expression of your emotion, your love, your heart, your sincerity, your purity. And when you are born with certain qualities. If you love your child, you have the natural emotions for it. You will be spending day out and day night with your child. Even if you are cooking in the kitchen, even he moves little bit, you will get a signal of it's the emotional bond of same attachment we have with God if the divinity is developed. So what I mean to say is each one of us is born with certain. Some people are born with the manifested bhava. Some are not born. He manifests. A very touching story to explain these things is the story of Buddha. Everyone knows about Buddha. Buddha was so emotional as a child. Even he sees the dry leaf falling, he becomes emotional. He thinks how his leaves have become dried when the leaves on the tree are so green. His sensitivity, his feeling, his emotions were immense. That is the reason he could develop divinity. He is a born divine person. When he is born as a young child, the king wanted to know his future. Being a king, he invited all the renowned astrologers to predict for his future. And most of the astrologers told either he will become a big emperor, Chakravarti Raja, or the sannyas. But only one astrologer told the king He is born to become sannyasi. He will enlighten the complete world. King, of course, didn't like him. He didn't give much of the donation to him. But as the other astrologer told, he has made the palaces for winter, for summer, for rainy season. And morning when he gets up, he doesn't find any dry leaves on the floor, on the ground. King has taken so much of care so that he should not become sannyasi. But you never know where your power takes you. Even in his childhood, he sit under the tree and he was absorbed in it. After he got married, of course, he was not allowed to go outside the campus of the king, but he asked his Sarathi to take him. When first time he has went to the city, he has seen an old man. He asked him why he is so old. Sarathi could not hide anything and told that everybody has to become old. Then he saw a dead body. He was surprised how it can be. He said, everybody will die. The fellow said, yes, this is the end of life. And the moment he knew that the end of life will come for everyone, he didn't want to live like a prince. He wanted to know what the reality is. As the story says, in that night itself, he renounced the kingdom, leaving his beautiful wife and child, and went to the forest to look for the reality, to look for the truth. What I mean to say is, the bhava was there in the beginning itself, and that bhava could manifest it with time as the opportunity came, and he became a Buddha, the enlightened person in the world. He has renounced everything, and after 6 years of great penance, when he didn't get anything, he said there is no point in pursuing it. He left the penance, no tapa. House and kingdom he has left 6 years back. No, he has renounced even his penance which he was doing every day. He was total become shunya, empty. When you become total shunya, empty, void. Or, so what I mean to say is, if you really want to be with the God, with the divinity, you have to empty yourself. The moment you are empty in all respects, you must not have a desire even for moksha, nothing. When there is a vacuum, every this is the reality of science, this is the reality of life, and this is the reality of all mysticism in the world. But bhava should not be confused with the attachments. Emotions finally leads to attachment. If it becomes attachment, it gives a lot of problem. In the life of Buddha, there is a small story also in the attachment itself. A lady has one son. He died in the young age. She had so much love for the child because that was the only son that she became mad, went to the different people to find out who can revive him. Then finally, one senior guy told, in your city itself, Buddha has come. Why don't you go to him? He's the enlightened guy. He will be able to revive your son. Finally, she went to him, asked him to revive the son. He said, yes, I can revive him. Because Buddha says there's so much of attachment of the mother with the son. He could not say no. He said, yes, I will revive him. Immediately, mother became 10 years younger, so happy. And then she was going to bring his dead body of the child. But as she left, the called him. What you have to do? You have to do one thing. You have to bring some rice from the house where nobody has died so far. He thought there's no problem. She can go and get it. She went to the couple of houses. Finally, she didn't get the rice from the house where nobody has died. People told our father died last year, mother died 3 years back, and she was so frustrated. And she came back to the Buddha that I could not bring the rice ball which you wanted. Then Buddha told, when everybody's house, someone or the other had died, you are also the part of this existence. We are all live under the mighty God. God treats everybody equally. So do not have so much of attachments. And then she was consoled and left her attachments and became the monk with the Buddha. Anyway, so what I mean to say, the emotion should not be finally clubbed with the attachments. Another very important point here is you must not have any negative bhavas so that it should not get manifested. To explain this, I remember a story of Russian writer Pushkin. The story is very close to my heart. There was one student. He was always studying in his room. Then from the window he finds a little far away from his house the old lady, very old lady, but she was very rich. She was doing the business of taking interest from the people. She gives the money on interest. Anybody comes, she takes high interest, takes some material, watch or gold ornaments, and then gives the money. This boy used to see him from the window. Then the bhava came to him, such a old lady, why somebody should not kill him? And she's traveling so much and taking so much of interest. This bhava what was manifested in him. And once he needed money because he didn't get the money from his house, he went to the lady, giving him his watch, and asked him to give 200 rubles for it. Ruble is the currency of Russia. She said, no, she can give only 100 rubles. The boy was sitting there in his room, in his house, and he was feeling very bad. Such a old lady, and when I am giving him the watch of 500 rubles, and she wants not to give him 200 rubles. He felt very bad, and he says he doesn't know how he went to the lady close to him, close to her, and just his neck in his hands. And within a minute, she died. He came back to his room and he lied down. Then he thought, how could I kill him? I just touched him only. He was not knowing what happened, and he could not sleep. Police came here and there, investigated, but they could not find who has done it. Then, after 2 days, he went to the police station and said that I have killed this lady. Police never believed him. Oh, such an innocent boy. Oh, you can kill him. Of course, nothing happened. What I mean to say is, your bhava, what you think for someone, it gets manifested in you. And finally, it boils down what you are thinking. Same way, if you think about God, think it about divinity. You think about mergence with the infinite. That will also get materialized. If you have positive thinking, always try to manifest. Negative thinking, don't give any chance of manifestation. Another point here is when you like someone, you love someone, suppose something happens with him, he dies. When you go to him, you cannot suppress your sorrow. You will be so much frustrated. You cannot even weep. And that creates a lot of energy in you. Your mind becomes fixed. And unless and until you are not forced to weep by someone, you can become mad. So much of attachment, one must have a very clear in mind. This is a transient world. Our relations are for some time. After lapse of time, people have to go. We have to be alone only. This must be always kept in. Bhava also gives the joy also. Suppose your son gets the highest marks, she gets a good placement. Out of joy, your emotions will come. And at that time, the tears will be of joy only. You will still weep only. Tears will fall from your eyes because you cannot control it. Tears of joys and tears of sorrow. There is a taste difference. One type, the tears are sweet. Other type, the tears are bitter. So tears comes when something gets exploded in you. You cannot control it. In my personal life, about 20 years back, I went to a conference and I was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award. And when I came to the stage, I could not speak. It is out of emotions and joy. I could only thank God that you have shown so much of blessings on me, and thanks to the organizers. And I could not speak anything else. And it was all full of emotions. And when you are emotional, the words will not come from your mouth. And I returned back. What I mean to say that emotions plays a very big role. In emotions, you are in a state of no mind. No mind state of it's a state of near samadhi. So all these qualities stated is a divine blessing in you if you are emotional, you are positive, and this finally will lead love in your emotion, bhava, in a positive. It sprouts as a love, and love is God. Love is divinity. Jesus the Christ has told, if you have love, it means you have got a God. You must love even your enemy. So love has a miracle in your life. Love has four letters, Love. When you love someone, you will always try to listen to him, whether it's your child or your neighbor or your beloved or even the God. You will listen to him and very deeply you will. O means observe. Then you will observe. Observe means you want to follow him. If he is, then you are venture with him. You want to stay with him. If you love God, you will stay with him. You want to be with God. You will merge in his prayer and you will evolve. With love, you will evolve. So after the emotions in your life, the love is God. Love is God. You must love your enemy for you everything. So oh, I will slightly try to manifest love. Love is a unique quality. Love comes after the emotions have widely manifested. Suppose you see a flower in the garden. You like the flower. You love it, but you cannot define how you love it. Suppose you have fallen in love with someone. You cannot express it. Everybody loves someone or the other. Person whom you love, the other person may hate it. So love is a basically a personal inclination. You must have heard the story of Heer and Ranja. Ranja was loving the Heer, but the king told him, "She is such a ugly girl. Why you love him? I can get you a much more beautiful girls." But he said, "You have to see her in as my eyes are seeing. To see it from your eyes. Your eyes may not like it. So love is always impersonal and it cannot be defined. So love, as I have defined it, whom you love, you listen to him very deeply. You cannot ignore him. If you love someone, you observe it very keenly. You love the ocean, you love the flower, you go on seeing them as if you have become one with it. Observation is a very deep subject. When you observe, there is the exchange of vibrations. You become like that. You go to the temple and closely watch the idol of deity. You go to Tirupati Devasthana. You will be amazed to see as if the God has come within you. If you go with love, your observation will make you as if there's no difference between you and the God. Observation is such a keen connection of non-local communication that it cannot be described. In a human system, when you love someone, then you always try to venture with it. Nowadays, the venture means to live together without getting married, so that to understand very closely, or to go to different places, so that you have a close connection with each other. And finally, if everything you find okay, then you will try to evolve with him, evolve with her. Evolve means either you get married or if you have loved the God, you become one with the God. Divinity develops within you. You cannot express in words from where that strength is coming to you as if you and the God are same. You are merged in his narrations, you are merged in his when you listen, you merge in his Satsanga itself. That is all his merchants, that is all his evolution. When you evolve, then finally when you evolve with such a high extent, then the illumination will come within you, as if you are enlightened. If you evolve with the bhakti of God, in the devotion of God, then the illumination will come. Why illumination will come? Because then the mind is not there. Bhakti is without mind. You are as if mind has disappeared and only the consciousness is left. And consciousness is a divinity. And finally, from love, you come to light, and light will take you finally to devotion. When you touch the peak of devotion, then consciousness is emerges in you. You know the story of Meera. She has a unparalleled love with the God. How it has happened. Once she went with her mother in some marriage. There the Lord Krishna's puja was there. When being a little girl, she asked the mother, "Why this puja?" Then she explained, "Before marriage, the puja of Lord is done. Can I get married with Lord Krishna?" Yes. And from that day onwards, she developed a liking for Lord Krishna and she got a small idol for her. And as she grew up, she was worshipping it. Even while sleeping, she kept that idol with her and sleep. and so much of love she has developed, and it has come natural. It is not somebody has taught him like Buddha, as he was inclined towards power, she was inclined towards devotion for Lord Krishna. And that devotion has increased to such a high level that she, when the poison was given to her, and she drank the poison and nothing happened because she was full of devotion. When you are devoted, then your love, your each cell of your body becomes full of nectar. Not a poison can affect you. There's a story for Meera. She went to Vrindavan, she wanted to enter the temple. Then the Pujari told the ladies are not allowed to enter. He says there is only one Purush, only one God, only one husband can be there. He said, Lord Krishna, how can I not enter? She danced before there on the gate of the temple. She danced so lovely, so devotionally. Even the priests who were standing there, they got immersed in her dance and she entered it. So devotion brings to you such a high state, then there leaves no mind. She becomes one with the existence. Becomes one with the God. And when she became one with the God, then the consciousness has evolved by itself. And consciousness should take to the thing towards the God itself. So from the love, the light comes, illumination comes, and from illumination, devotion comes. And when the devotion is there, then nothing lacks, only your consciousness gets immersed. Consciousness gets manifested. Same thing happened with the Surdas. You know, no, sorry, not Surdas, the Tansen was playing always in the Darbar of Akbar. And Akbar used to like Tansen so much. And once he asked to Tansen, there is no other person can have such a nice and impressive play of the music and melody as you are. He says, no, the king, my master is the unimaginable. Then Akbar told that I want to visit your master. He says, I play in your palace because I get some money, but my master play only for the God. He doesn't play for money, he play for the devotion. Then he is insisted that hey, he wants to go to his master and listen to him. He says you cannot go because he has his own time. Sometimes he starts playing at 3 o'clock morning, sometime at 4 o'clock. He says, no, I will go. On the day of Purnima, on the full moon, they went to the banks of the Yamuna where his cottage was there. They waited for hours together. Then midnight by 3 or 4 o'clock, he started singing. He started playing. His melody was so attractive. They were from the bushes were hearing him. The king was surprised and the tears were flowing through from his eyes. Such a beautiful melody. A human being cannot have such capabilities. When they returned to the palace back, he didn't talk to Tansen. Only after 3 days he told him, you are nothing before your master. He says, my master sings for the divinity, for the God, and I sing for you. And he has a divine blessings. I get few coins from you. He's not bothered for the coins. So that's the reason is selfless melodies. When you're doing something selfless with devotion, has its own beauty. It's a mergence, it's samadhi. When he plays in the samadhi. Samadhi is the divinity itself. How you can compare this melody with mind melodies. Nothing, I am nothing before. Then the Akbar was satisfied. The last story, which touches to my heart, is a 500 years back story of Guru Nanak. He was a great devotee of the Almighty. When he went to the Puri Jagannath temple on the night of Purnima, he was amazed to see the beauty. He went with his two disciples who were playing on the Ektara and Sitar. And you'll be surprised to know the Arati before the Gagan Mein Thal. It means in the sky there is a big plate where the stars are, like the Deepak, like the Deepak in the Diwalis, lamps in the Diwalis. And moon as a big candle are praying to the god in a thali. Sky is compared as a big plate, and all the plants of the flowers sending him the scent of aroma. All vegetables, all fruits of all the plants of the fruits and crops and all that. That is his prashad. So he has compared whole existence as if praying to the god. I don't remember of his arti, but the sense was he has played and sang with so much devotion that all the priests of the temple were amazed to see. And same arti is now played in the gurudwaras, and I have witnessed a couple of times the people who were listening to that arti, their tears were flowing through their eyes out of emotions because he has not sung the arti. The ocean of the God has come. So when you are merged with the divinity, God himself comes to your voice, comes to your words, and he grasps all the people around you, and you are in the deep mergence of the Samadhi. So what I mean to say, from the emotions to come to Samadhi as if it's a straight path. If you don't deviate from here, because it's the cleanest path. If the God has given you the emotions, it means God has given you bhakti, God has given you prashadam by birth itself. So try to manifest it. Keep your heart always pure and clean. You are in the with God in this life.